If you're following Marilyn Manson and also following Death First Heard, you might know there's someone named Kat Tenbarge who works for NBC who's gonna say a few things about Marilyn Manson. She retweets this article from Rolling Stone, who tries to say that Evan Rachel Wood is now calling out Ashley Morgan Smithline rightfully. Of course, Rolling Stone, by default, it seems, jumps to the defense of the accuser, not to the evidence, because in this case, there isn't any. I want to point this out too. Here's the problem with someone like Kat Tenbarge, at least with what we have here. I don't know about every single one of her articles, but in many cases, she states her opinion as fact. You don't see things like, I think, maybe this is true, but maybe it's not. There's no speculation in any way, shape, or form that she could be wrong. And that's the problem. I've said time and time again here, we don't know for sure in this case what happened 10 years ago. I'm open to evidence. I'm open to change my mind, but my opinion stands because we've got no evidence. But Kat is a one-way street with how she phrases things. She's acting like she's an authority on facts, and what she says is absolutely correct. That's not news reporting. That's not journalism. That's manufactured consent. You want people to believe what you say because it's coming off as fact. She says, one of Marilyn Manson's accusers recanted last week and said Evan Rachel Wood manipulated her. In two newly leaked voicemails from the accuser to Evan Rachel Wood and another person, she said Manson's lawyers viewed her as the weak link who could be used to blame Evan Rachel Wood. Well, that doesn't mean it's not true. Maybe she was the weak link, but that doesn't mean that they got her to lie. That could be they got her to tell the truth. How about that angle, Kat? How about explore both angles? I thought you're a professional, and I'm just a YouTuber. Apart from the voicemails, Evan Rachel Wood's lawyers contradicted Ashley Morgan Smithline's new allegations with a mountain of evidence showing she told Evan Rachel Wood and the public about her abuse, including details of Evan Rachel Wood's own abuse allegations that Manson told Ashley Morgan Smithline. Let's not forget allegations. Anyone who has followed the case closely will have seen these developments coming. First of all, Smithline's decision to recant and blame Evan Rachel Wood fit in with Manson's legal defense from the beginning. His suit against Evan Rachel Wood outlines what Smithline will claim later. Well, how about this, Kat? That defense fits in anything from the beginning. Anybody who's against anybody looks at the other side and says, is there someone on that other side we could get to tell the truth? I mean, after all, this has been predicted by YouTubers that Evan Rachel Wood and Ilma Gore encouraged these women to come out against Manson in the first place. But I guess that's just a coincidence. Just lucky guesses here. That's what YouTubers do. They take lucky guesses about big things and they happen to be right. And she continues. And Smithline's new allegations against herself and Evan Rachel Wood were never going to stand up under scrutiny because Smithline has been public about her allegations and the evidence for them since the beginning. There are photos, Manson's own admissions, etc. Whoa! Don't use the word evidence unless it's something that's actually evidence that no one can dispute. Let's go through it once again, Kat, because you're a writer, you should know. Police report, medical report, audio, video that's authentic and not disputed, meaning both parties agree it's actually Manson. We don't have that. What you have is his lyrics from songs, things he said, could have been jokes, out of context, whatever. You don't actually have evidence. I have personally witnessed lawyers for the accused manipulate my own sources into recanting for money or via pressuring and threatening them. I have seen it all firsthand, and nothing surprises me anymore because an HBO special wasn't for money. That was because Evan Rachel Wood was the victim, and she had to make an HBO special on it for no money. Where'd that money go? To Los Angeles Children's Hospital? I don't think so. That money probably went in her pocket. That wasn't related to Manson or his lawyers. Whoa, stop right there. Okay, thanks. That wasn't related to Manson or his lawyers. Just stop there. But these tactics are not unique to him and are in fact incredibly common, tried and true methodology to defend a client accused of sexual assault and or domestic violence. Well, you know what you can't defend against? Evidence. You can't defend against evidence. People who come out and can actually prove you abused them, you can't defend against that. But if you can defend against, like, what is it now? 12 women? I guess a bunch of them dropped down to 10, 9, whatever. If you can defend against that successfully, well, that might mean it didn't happen. The theory behind Manson's defamation suit against Evan Rachel Wood is that by bringing together accusers of the same person, she invalidated her own allegations and the other women and people she gathered. But that's not fair or true that talking about your experiences hurts your credibility. What about his credibility? Like I said, one-way street. One-way street. What about his credibility? Why don't you think about your truth? Why don't you think about if your truth is hurting someone else? And let's decide if it's the truth first. And she continues, YouTubers and social media accounts covering, quote unquote, the case from a pro-Manson slant. Haven't we seen this before? Aren't we tired? I guess she's referring to Johnny Depp, of course. Have doxed Jane Doe accusers, smeared Evan Rachel Wood and the other women involved, and relentlessly pushed Manson's innocence. Well, I'm not. I'm saying, based on what I know, I can't say he's guilty. I'm not just going to believe people's truth. I've got to see the evidence. Anyone should be on my side, whether you're Democrat, Republican, right, left, Martian, whatever. That's the reality. I don't have the right to take someone's side unless I see impeccable evidence. Even though Manson himself has admitted and bragged about a slew of violent actions, behaviors, and ideologies towards women, including attacking his mother and fantasizing about killing his former partners, including the woman he's suing, Evan Rachel Wood, and the woman suing him. And the women suing him. Well, what was fiction? What was fantasy? Was that an interview? Was that a book? Whatever it was. Just because someone says it doesn't mean it's true. Here, I slept with 5,000 beautiful women. I said it. Why don't you dig this video up like 10 years from now and see if that's true? It's gotta be. You know why? Because I said it. I killed 3 grizzly bears with a baseball bat when I was 29. Dig that up. 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I guess because I said it, it's true. You see how this works? You could say anything, but just because you said it doesn't mean it's true. And there's so many people who are, he said it, it's true. No. Doesn't matter. You still have to prove what you say. And Jez gets the last word here. Well, last word for me, not the last word on the thread, but it should be the last word. This is so weird in so many ways. You're saying that it's impossible for someone to do something like this because she's a woman and believe all women. The accuser flat out said Evan Rachel Wood made her do it. Why are we not allowed to believe her? Weird take. There you go. So I'm confused. Believe all women? But I can't believe Ashley Morgan Smith line now. But she's a woman. What do we do? How about let's believe the evidence? Let me know what you think down below. What do you think of Kat? Like I said, one-way street. There's no room for speculation. She knows she was there with them. If you don't subscribe here, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.